Persistent snow, bitter cold, extreme frustration.
It's hard.
Those were the hallmarks of last year's wild winter. With this year's winter upon us, we went to Chief Meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz to hear his 18th annual winter forecast. So Glenn, what can we expect this time around?
I don't think it's going to be a whole lot different than last winter.
Wait, what?
Yeah, cold and snow.
It's not going to be that bad, right?
I think this winter will be colder than last winter and perhaps the coldest in more than 10 years in Philadelphia. As far as snow is concerned, I expect a lot of snow this winter, but not as frequently.
Okay, deep breaths. Here's what you need to know. Starting with the extreme cold, Hurricane is expecting temps to be below normal for most of the winter, with them bottoming out in January, with temperatures being an average of 5 degrees below normal. It may not sound like a lot, but that's the average over a month.
That means some days are going to be 10 below normal, some may be a couple above. I mean, the weather is still going to vary, just maybe not as much as a typical winter. And we'll get into some stretches where it's 10, 15 degrees below normal, maybe even 20 at some point.
Now to the snow. 68 inches fell in Philadelphia last winter. This year, Hurricane is predicting between 40 and 45 inches. While the totals are less, it's still double the normal snowfall total. Then again, we haven't had normal snowfall since the winter of 2008 and 2009. And Hurricane believes there will be 1 or 2 big snowstorms that dump a foot or more of snow at a time. Places that don't normally get a ton of snow could also see more than normal, Hurricane says.
There could be 35, 40 inches of snow even in northern Delaware and in places like Camden, Gloucester counties that get, again, a little less. Even Atlantic County toward the shore could get some big snowstorms with a pattern like this, because I think there will be so much cold air coming in, the ocean is going to cool down.
Last year it was one after another, after another, after another. Are we looking at that again?
I think there'll be a period, maybe several weeks, where it seems like it's snowing every few days.
How likely is all this? Well, the weather is always changing, but Hurricane says several global indicators are all pointing in the same direction. An extremely cold and very snowy winter here.
There are no borders in the atmosphere. Everything is tied together around the globe. And so we have to look in other parts of the world to see the signs. So our weather here is tied to weather on the other side of the North Pole. Siberia, Eurasia, the amount of snow in October directly affects how much snow and cold we get.
So let's recap. Brutal cold, lots of snow, with January being the worst month, and areas to the south getting more snow than normal. But what might be the worst part?
It's the persistence of the cold, I think, that may be the issue this year.
There you have it. If you want to explore more of the science behind Hurricane's forecast, read his blog below. And be sure to download the NBC 10 First Alert Weather app. It's free, and it'll be your best companion this winter. Vince Latanzio, NBC 10 News.